My guy made $7 million. Woo!
A couple months ago, I interviewed one of the biggest business owners out in Los Angeles. Excuse me, sir. Quick question for you, man.
Quick shout out to homie, man. This is some of the best videos on YouTube. This is amazing. This is better than like 12 years of going to public school.
Is this your Ferrari? And what do you do for living out in Los Angeles to be able to afford a Ferrari?
I own my own consulting firm.
So you're a business owner? Yeah. How long have you been an entrepreneur for?
6 years.
And over these 6 years, what's been...
Consulting firm. Wow, so consulting is supposed to mean just talking to people or giving advice. So he says he makes a lot of money giving his advice.
Been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Just over about 7.1 million last year.
$7 million. Yeah. You're sitting in a Ferrari right now. This is a lot of people's dream car. Tell me the story of how you bought this thing.
I'll be honest with you, I had already offsetted all my taxes for the year, and I just wanted a Christmas gift. So I just went and bought myself a Ferrari cat.
I don't even know what offsetting your taxes even mean. I'm gonna have to Google that. Offset your taxes? What the fuck?
When you don't pay taxes, a lot of these types of purchases start to become a little bit different.
So you don't pay taxes?
Oh, no, I don't pay any taxes.
That video got over 60 million views across social media. And like he said, he made over $7 million in a single year and didn't pay any money in taxes. That's Carlton Dennis. And he invited us out to his...
Holy crap, that's a lot of views. 60 million views. This dude makes a ton of money from all his videos, by the way. He makes a ton of money just asking people questions.
House out in Los Angeles to give you guys the game on what it takes to make a lot of money, but more importantly, keep a lot of money and not have to pay thousands of dollars or millions of dollars in taxes at the end of every year. So let's go link up with Carlton and go see what he has to say for you guys. He's got the G-Wagon out front, a Lamborghini truck. We gotta go get this game from him. Come on, you guys. Man. Carlton, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you for having us out here,
Welcome
man.
to Orange County, man.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
The last time I saw you, man, our video
Rich ass nigga.
did 60 million views together.
60 million?
60
Are
million.
you serious?
48 million on Instagram, another 15 million on TikTok, and however million on Facebook, man.
Changing lives.
Yes, sir. We're
Let's
super,
go.
super happy to be out here, man.
I'm glad to have you out here.
We talked about it in the preview.
Yeah.
People saw the interview.
Yes.
You made how much money this last year?
All right, I made 7.1 last year in 2023. 2024, we just crossed 11.5 million.
And how much money did you pay in taxes for those that don't know?
Last year, I paid $0 in federal taxes, $26,000 in state taxes, and this year in 2024, I'm on pace to pay less than $92,000 in total taxes.
Now, how the hell was this possible, man? Because that's insane. You're touching...
That's a W, man. Anytime you can keep your money from the fucking government, it's a W.
8 figures, high 7 figures in a single year,
Yeah.
and you're not paying anything in taxes. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, how am I doing this? Okay, so
First of all, is that legal?
everything I'm doing is legal. Everything I'm doing
So
is
if
legal.
the IRS wanted to come after you,
I welcome them. IRS, you know who Carlton Dennis is. I have one of the largest YouTube channels for tax strategy. The IRS knows who I am. I'm not afraid of the IRS. I'm not afraid to use the tax code against the IRS. And everything that I do is by the book, which is why I have so much fun with the tax code. I focus on income shifting strategies. How do I take money off of my
This is actually like really good advice, by the way, because I used to work a corporate job, and bro, the amount of money they take from you working a corporate job is insane, bro. Is insane, bro. If they didn't take that money, you'd be making so much more. You could do so much more. They take a ton of money from you.
tax returns. I focus on depreciation. How do I create a paper loss by investing in real estate? And most importantly, I'm philanthropic. I have a private family foundation that gives money back to other charities outside of my own that allows for me to also reduce my tax bill. These are the three things that I do every single year that keep me at 0% on the federal side. And I do pay a little bit of that Cali tax, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so I gotta say this stuff.
Holy fuck. So I don't know if y'all got that. He says he does three things. Let's rewind that. Let's rewind that.
Every single year that keep me at 0%.
So what are these three things he does to lower his taxes?
strategy. The IRS knows who I am. I'm not afraid of the IRS. I'm not afraid to use the tax code against the IRS. And everything that I do is by the book, which is why I have so much fun with the tax code. I focus on income shifting strategies. How do I?
Income shifting. I don't know what that means, income shifting, but I'm sure he'll explain it.
I take money off of my tax returns. I focus.
How do I take money off of my tax returns? By income shifting. Well, shifting it to what? A different income source? I guess maybe we'll explain that in the future, but right now, base level does make any sense. But I guess the tax code and taxes isn't really supposed to make sense, but as a newbie watching this, if you don't understand what the fuck that means, income shifting, it's vague probably on purpose.
Focus on depreciation. How do I create a
Depreciation. That's supposed to mean like losing value. So I wonder how that matches with taxes.
paper loss by investing in real estate and
Paper loss investing in real estate. So I guess he's saying if you invest in real estate, you're able to pay less taxes. It's kind of the overview. How specifically he might have explained that I don't really get as a new person trying to learn. But you could sum up by knowing if you have real estate or own real estate or invest in real estate, you could save taxes that way.
Most importantly, I'm philanthropic. I have a private family foundation that gives money back to other charities outside of my own that allows for me to also reduce my tax bill. These are the three things that I do every single year that keep me at 0% on the federal side.
Okay.
And I do pay a little bit of that Cali tax, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so I gotta say this though, because I wanna put this in perspective for everyone watching right now.
Yeah.
Some of your clients are some of the biggest business owners in the world. And I've interviewed guys, a lot of the people I've interviewed are his clients, so you know this stuff better than anybody else.
Yeah.
And my goal for this video is to be a masterclass for anybody watching to understand
Yes.
the ins and outs to the loopholes to being able to avoid these taxes,
Yes.
right? Because as you know it, the biggest expense for most business owners is what?
Their taxes, man, it's always a tax.
Damn. Taxes is one of your biggest expenses? How the fuck can people create great things for people when your biggest expense you gotta go give to the government? When the government can already print it themselves. And then they send it to Ukraine. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's
Taxes,
crazy.
not your mortgage, it's not your car payment, it's not your payroll, it's your taxes.
Have you seen people go broke with big tax bills?
I have seen people go broke with a big tax bill because they spend more money than what they have left over to pay Uncle Sam, and by the time that they get the check from Uncle Sam, they don't have enough money in their bank account to pay it.
Wow. So let's get right into it. What are some of the industries that you've invested in personally that's been able to allow you to alleviate that bill and not have to pay anything to offset that?
It depends on the type of income that you're earning. If you're a full-time W-2 or 1099 taxpayer, highly recommend that you look at it.
So W-2 and 1099 basically means that you have a job, is the sum. If you're W-2 or 1099, then like you're an employee for the company.
Short-term rentals because the IRS will allow for you to
So short-term rentals.
manage the short-term rental for 100 hours, and it becomes an active business. If your tenants are staying in the property 7 days or less, you can perform a strategy called the cost segregation study, which forces a paper loss on the tax returns, and that paper loss is what can offset somebody's W-2 or somebody's 1099 income. If you're somebody that maybe has a spouse that's not working, maybe it's like a husband that's working and the wife's home taking care of the kids, this is a perfect situation where you can make your wife a real estate professional. She manages over the real estate portfolio, and you can then make the real estate portfolio an active real estate business. If you perform the cost segregation study strategy, it creates a large tax
Cost segregation strategy. Interesting. I haven't actually ever heard that before in my life. It's the first time I'm hearing that, like even just on social media.
deduction on the paper, and then that paper tax deduction can offset your W-2 or your 1099 income.
Now, I can speak for a lot of entrepreneurs. This year, our company will do, this is our first year that we're doing 7 figures.
Congratulations.
And, thank you, my friend. Hey, 22, not too bad for 22.
Not
But
at
what
all.
I wanted to ask though, right, because most people that get into business, they don't realize the insane amount that you are going to have to pay in taxes if you're not smart about
Yes.
having a strategy to kind of avoid that. So let's talk to the people that are,
Which is why I'm watching this video, why he's making this video. Thank you. And it's hopefully is why y'all watching this video as well. Absolutely. I've noticed from just working my job that you can lose a lot of money paying taxes. And the fact that people can pay less taxes than you means that you should be paying less taxes as well. Because if they can do it, you could do it too. It's just knowing it first, having the knowledge, and then putting in the effort to go through with it, because that's what it is, you know. I think they kind of prey on you being a little lazy, because if you're lazy and you don't care about paying less taxes, then you're not going to go through the effort of learning and doing what you need to do to pay less.
That are just starting out. Maybe let's say that they're making their first six figures. They're making $100,000 this year, and maybe they didn't run super lean, where they had some expenses, they didn't have great margins, and they can't afford to in their business pay insane amounts in taxes. We see this a lot, especially for people that are just starting to kind of make a lot more money, 6 figures, 7 figures. What are some of those initial steps that people should take to again avoid having to pay these crazy burdens? And maybe if they don't have the means to be able to start investing in real estate, are there any other things that people can do to be able to avoid having to pay crazy tax bills to save a lot more of that money?
So I guess from the first 5 minutes of this video, before he answers this good question he's asking, is that it seems like you have to be making a lot of money to start actually like seeing some kind of like return on attempting to pay less taxes. I believe. Well, I guess he did mention that you could. It's still real estate, but he basically said if you have a job, which I know is most people and was me, then you can have a short-term rental that you can manage, and somehow that offsets your taxes. How specifically he kind of mentioned, but I guess that's a good first step that can be done.
The first thing that you want to do as a self-employed individual that's starting to come into some money is look at your entity structuring. Most self-employed individuals start out as sole proprietorships or single-member LLCs, and that's great until you cross about $50,000 to $60,000. Once you're across that point, you need to look at switching to an S corporation to avoid paying self-employment taxes. It's this nasty 15.3% on all of your business's profits. If you just switch to an S corporation, you can give yourself a salary now, and now you only pay that 15.3% on whatever you took out of your business. You completely avoid 15.3% on the rest of your business's profits. So that's step number one, entity structure.
Okay. So if you're making more than 50, 60,000, switch it to an S corporation, which if you open a business before, or if you got an LLC, there's like 3 options of what kind of like business you have. So it's just basically one of those. So that's actually game right there. Shout out to him. But you gotta start making a little bit of money though, 50, 60,000. So it's another starting step thing. So dope advice so far.
Structuring. Step number 2 is let's figure out, did you take advantage of all the things that you spent your money on? Because sometimes business owners spend money on things that they didn't know were write-offs. And so we can allocate expenses that we're taking on the personal card over to business if you forgot or didn't know that something was supposed to be a business write-off. This can include cell phones, laptops, travel that should have been business travel that you thought was personal. We can allocate those expenses over to your business to drop down that total liability.
What's the biggest difference you notice in people's approach to taxes from middle class versus wealthy people?
Speed. When you're wealthy, you're asking me, Carl, where do I move the money to? When do we set up the foundation? Where do I send the wire? It happens in hours, not days, not weeks. When I'm dealing with middle class, they're nervous, they're analysis paralysis.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, it is so true, man. Even me, bro, like, I'm slow as fuck when it comes to everything right now. And this is the same, like, this is probably like the best advice somebody can give you. It's the same advice I heard Andrew Tate say before. Speed is everything, like getting things out on time, working, being quick, and being fast when it comes to everything, like uploading YouTube videos and getting things done too. So that's amazing advice.
They want to do more research than the tax professional did. And it comes down to the fact that they're scared to spend money in order to save money. Wealthy people understand I have to spend money in order to continue to play this game that Uncle Sam wants me to play. And so they're willing to invest money into different vehicles quickly to avoid taxes, whereas the person that's in the middle class is more attached to the money and will take their time to determine if they're going to make an investment to offset their taxes, which could end up leading to them being in a situation where they just end up paying.
How much money have you saved your clients in taxes?
That's 100% right myself. I literally had a phone conversation today with my brother if I should pay to use this software to help me make more money, because and it's very psychological, when you're not from money or you don't have a lot of money, then any money you have is very valuable to you. So you're thinking of how I'm losing this money that I have right now, but you're not really thinking of, hey, I might be losing this money right now, but I'll be making more money in the future. So it's kind of like a risky gamble because you have to trust yourself to know that if you're going to spend money on something, that you're going to make money in the future from spending that money. So, yes, that is a habit that I've had and that I know most people have. If you're cheap and poor, bad. Oh man, you're done.
If you had to estimate, give me a number, how much money have you saved your clients in taxes?
Well over 100 million.
Do you have a specific scenario or example of a client that you worked with where they were coming to you stressing about how to pay crazy taxes? You don't have to say the person, but could you give me a scenario?
We had a scenario of a woman who came into the office. This was previous to the pandemic, where we used to meet with people face to face, and she had an IRS audit where she had taken a vehicle on her tax returns. She had already visited 7 other CPA firms. They said that they didn't want to work with her. When she came in, I looked at her tax returns and I saw the notice. They were disallowing a vehicle on her tax returns in the amount of $1 million. I asked her what the vehicle was. She told me it was a yacht. I said, why would we purchase a yacht for business? She said, I am a real estate agent. I speak on TV, $1 million listings, and I like to show my athletes and entertainers what it would look like to purchase a house from the views of the ocean. I log all of the time that I go on and off of the boat. I have a captain that knows every single person that's come on and off the boat, and I've documented everything. By taking her captain's log booklet, some of the photos that she had, as well as the expenses from her P&L, we went into the audit and leveraging code section 162A, which states that a business owner can take a business deduction if the business deduction is ordinary, necessary, and reasonable to the business owner in the pursuit of income. We should be able to take the write-off. We won that audit in less than an hour, and that was her ability to be able to write off a yacht. So when I have clients coming to me stressed out, sometimes it's
Holy fuck. I don't even know what it's like to even win an audit, but that's a crazy story.
stress around a $1 million yacht. Sometimes it's stress around a $50,000 tax bill, but it's up to me to figure out how to mitigate it.
Now, when I interviewed you out in Los Angeles the last time, you were in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And I know you got the G-Wagon, you've got the Lamborghini Urus. Are they here today?
Yeah, those are outside.
Hey, could we go take a look at it? Let's go take a look.
We might be picking up a new whip today, actually.
What are you going to be picked up?
I don't really care about the cars, but I know it's for the views, so people care about luxury.
So my Ferrari's in the shop right now, and they called me and they're like, hey, we have another Ferrari or we have this Lamborghini SV. Which one would you?
Bro, making this much money from giving advice on taxes is crazy because it's so useful. So it's smart. I don't know. It's like the world is so weird, right? It's like he's an intelligent person. He has a useful skill. But the useful skill is to prevent you from giving money to your fucking tyrannical government. It's like, in a perfect world, someone as challenging as this would have a more useful skill helping people doing something better. But, hey, it is what it is.
Like more. I was like, I don't know. I kind of have a Lamborghini, but I'll come down and test drive the SV.
Yeah.
And I went down and test drove the Lamborghini SV, and I think we might be picking the Lamborghini up.
Yeah. Now, what's crazy is most people look at cars like this as depreciating assets. How do you feel about that perspective that people give you whenever they say that about cars?
Cars are depreciating assets. I 100% agree with them, but I also took 100% bonus depreciation on this car, which saved me, I don't know, about 92.
Bonus depreciation? What the fuck is that? Because I got a
Took
car.
a 100% bonus depreciation on this car, which saved me, I don't know, about $92,000 in taxes. That $92,000 got reinvested.
Bonus depreciation? I've never heard that in my life. Bonus depreciation. So there's something I need to talk about with my tax people.
Into a multifamily property in Texas, that's paying me cash flow of about $1,400 a month. So if you're somebody that knows how to do math, you can buy a vehicle like this, offset your taxes, reinvest the tax savings into a cash flow producing asset, and not worry about the fact that this car is still losing value sitting here in the driveway, because it losing value offsetted my taxes.
Right. So the G-Wagon right here, why is it eligible for that deduction? Is it because of the size and the weight of it? Or?
Yeah, so with this G-Wagon, the gross vehicle weight ratio is over 6,000 pounds. And if you have a vehicle where the gross vehicle weight ratio is over 6,000 pounds, plus the vehicle is being used more than 50% for business, the IRS will allow for you to take the vehicle's purchase price and write it off on your tax returns under Code Section 179 plus Code Section...
Hey, if there's one thing I learned from this video yet is why he's fucking rich.
$168K. So I utilized this strategy in 2022 on this vehicle right before bonus depreciation went to 80% in 2023. We're here in 2024. Bonus depreciation is at 60%. Donald Trump just got elected president. He's expected to get inaugurated here in the next couple of weeks. There's a possibility that bonus depreciation could go back to 100%. And as a tax professional, I'm waiting to hear about that.
Now, a couple months ago, I actually interviewed
Trump. You know, Democrats definitely don't want you to be wealthy and enjoy your own money. And at worst, they want you to give them their money so that they can bullshit with it. Fuck them.
A lady out in Beverly Hills, and she was coming out of a G-Wagon. I asked her, what she did, or how much money she made, and she's, let's just say, at least 10 times what a G-Wagon is. And the reason why I'm asking this is, and I want to talk about business here for a second. What does it take? This is a lot of people's dream car, and you've got a lot of them. But let's just take the G-Wagon, for example, 200,000, sometimes more than even that for this car. A lot of people dream to be able to afford a car like this. How can somebody get a G-Wagon in today's world?
You can buy one of these cars if you understand leverage. As a business owner, I wasn't going to buy a car like this if I didn't get some type of benefit tax-wise, money coming back into my pocket. Here's an example. Let's just say that you're a business owner that's making $200,000 a year. You could put down a $20,000 down payment on a car like this and be able to write off the entire purchase price, which was about $200K. If you have $200K of income, and you have a $200,000 write-off on your tax returns, you're essentially tax-free. Someone that has $200,000 of reportable income may pay $50,000 in taxes. So they're pocketing $50K and then put $20,000 down. They have a delta of about $30K. Now they can reinvest that $30K into cash flow producing assets or back into their business that can help them make more money. For somebody that's going to buy a car like this, I would highly recommend that you do so with leverage.
You brought up leverage. There's a big debate in business. Good debt versus bad debt.
So it's very important to, if you're watching this video, I want you to know that, like, if you're talking to somebody about taxes, then they probably need to be as knowledgeable as him. So, I mean, he might be a top person, but I'm not sure where he learned it, if he learned this in school or on the job or something, but all this is very good advice. You know, most of it is probably not at the level most of us are at, to where we don't have enough money to be doing things like riding off a G-Wagon and having a business that's making 7 figures and things like that. So I think the best advice that we can get from this video so far is kind of like the beginning stuff that you can do, you know? If you're gonna get into real estate, get what he described earlier, I think it was a short-term rental building. And then if you get your business to making $60,000 to $70,000, and then there's another way you could write off your business income tax with that, which isn't earlier in the video. So those are like the stepping stones.
Debt. What's your thoughts on debt as a business owner?
Yes, there's good debt and there's bad debt. There's bad debt, which is consumer debt, credit card debt, high interest rate debt. That's the type of debt you want to avoid. And then there's good debt, which is debt in the form of loans, like buying a house. The reason why that is considered good debt is because you're parking your money into an asset that could appreciate over time, and you have the ability to borrow against the property. The reason why I love real estate is because I can take out cash out refinances or HELOCs, which means that even though the reason why I love real estate is because I can take out cash out refinances or
I've never even heard the word HELOC before.
HELOCs, which means that even though I put my money into a property and I took out leverage, I may be able to pull out more than what I put into the property because of leverage. And that's why I love real estate. Many wealthy entrepreneurs have built their wealth by reinvesting into real estate over and over and over again. And God forbid something happens to them, their heirs pick up those properties. But sometimes they pick up those properties with no debt on the deal. And so when you think about it, the person that was living leveraged debt to build up this entire real estate portfolio and then passes it off to their heirs, sometimes without any debt on the deal. So some of the wealthiest families got wealthy because of debt, and I'm always going to leverage debt to build my nest egg.
Yeah, I have a client out in Miami owns.
It says leverage. He uses leverage a lot. I don't really know what that means right now, but
several $100 million worth of real estate, and he actually said that you can tell how wealthy someone is based on the amount of access to debt and that they have, like how much debt they're able to kind of pull out, which is fascinating. It's really interesting to be.
Yeah, the more debt I take on, the more I'm actually able to increase my buying power, because if I'm able to keep more of my hard-earned money in my pocket and not overextend myself while I'm leveraging debt, I can continue to increase my buying power, because I'll be able to continue to take on more and more debt, but go into bigger and bigger investments because of it.
What's the best way to kind of get access to that capital, that credit lines in today's world that you've seen has been efficient for yourself or other people as well?
The best way to get access to credit is to use credit and to start establishing the right type of relationships with bankers. I know that for me, it was getting into the banks and actually having a relationship with a banker. And then after having...
I gotta fix my banking shit. I fucked up my bank account fucking with some lame ass scammers a couple years ago. So I owe Bank of America like $2,000. Once I pay them off, then I'll get off check systems and you can go right back to being able to do this. So, it's such a mistake. That's why you gotta watch who you're around. Fuck these niggas.
Having a certain amount of deposits, then you earn a private banker. Once you have a private banking relationship, you can pull a lot of strings. You get access to private equity deals. You don't have to go into the bank if you don't want to pull out money. If you need transfers, you don't have to pay for the transfers. You don't have to pay for the wires. And most importantly, they understand your business because they're a partner with you. So if you need access to debt, they understand what you're using the debt for because they have a pretty good understanding of what your business model is.
Let's say someone's making $100,000 a year right now. Do you have any specific
That's great advice. That's amazing advice.
strategies they can implement, like kind of a walkthrough, a blueprint on what they can do to be able to avoid paying crazy money in taxes?
You want me to do a walkthrough right now?
Could we?
Let's break it down on the whiteboard.
Let's go.
Let's do it right now. Let's do it. All right, so we said 100K, right?
Yes.
And this could be 100K.
What was this walkthrough for? I missed it.
Paying
There's a ton of information in this video, by the way. Oh my God.
specific strategies they can implement, like kind of a walkthrough, a blueprint on what they can do to be able to avoid paying crazy money in taxes.
You want me to do a walkthrough
Same
right now?
point of the video.
Let's break it down on the whiteboard.
Let's go.
Let's do it right now. Let's do it. All right, so we said 100K, right?
Yes.
And this could be 100K W-2, 1099.
Which is like 6% of the population. So it's kind of a bad number because most people don't make that, but I guess it's good for the example.
Entrepreneur.
So I guess if they're using these big numbers that most people don't have, I guess in the beginning stage, it's like trying not to pay taxes isn't what you should know in the beginning stage. In the beginning stage, you should learn how to start running a business, have a business, or learn skills, etc. So shout out to this man, amazing advice, smart guy, amazing content, you know. When y'all start making this money, come back to this video and start using the advice that he's giving you. In the meantime, I hope that and pray that everyone becomes financially successful and achieves what they want to achieve and is doing what they want to do in life. So, blessings.